For more analysis, joining us live from Jenin in occupied West Bank is Osama Nazzal. He's a Palestinian affairs analyst. Osama, thank you so much for being with us. We're just hearing some analysis from our correspondent there around the Israeli reluctance to uphold its side of the deal. This after Hamas has said it will release the next 3 hostages this Saturday. What do you make of this Israeli reluctance and what seems to be a lack of good faith in upholding its side of the deal?
Since the beginning of the ceasefire deal, the Israeli Prime Minister did not like that, and he has his own plan to continue the war. And his conviction and intentions got more strengthened by the statement of the American President Donald Trump, who said that America would take over Gaza and take 2 million Palestinians out. Now, the Israeli Prime Minister and the members of his coalition, mainly the Minister of Finance, Smotrich, are buying the idea, adopting the idea of Donald Trump, and so they are trying to thwart any negotiations and any step that would lead to the final solution by hindering the access of the very essential humanitarian aid into Gaza, mainly the tents, the caravans, and the heavy machines that are necessary for cleaning out the millions and millions of tons of rubble, preventing normal life in Gaza and preventing the start of any reconstruction process. So yes, a lot of concern, a lot of worry, as the Israeli Prime Minister seems to be determined to continue his war on Gaza.
And Osama, what do you make of the fact that when we saw the ceasefire deal announced, there was so much praise and celebration, particularly from leaders around the world who have now been very quiet now that we're seeing the deal play out and Israel not uphold its side of the deal? Is the West and other world leaders letting down Palestinians here?
The world leaders let down the Palestinians since the start of the Israeli occupation. You know that the United Nations issued hundreds of resolutions calling for ending the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian land occupied in 1967 and the establishment of the Palestinian state that would live in peace and security side by Israel. But the world leaders did not do anything in order to implement any of these resolutions and any of the United Nations recommendations. 15 months of genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza. Israel made hell on earth in Gaza, and the world leaders let down the Palestinian children and the Palestinian women and did not do anything to stop that. So today, as Israel threatens not to commit itself to the ceasefire deal, and in particular not to go to the second stage of negotiations with the Palestinian side, the world leaders are going to act the same. Why? This is the problem. They are afraid of the United States. They do what satisfies the United States administration, not their human conscience, and that is the problem.
And finally, Osama, I just want to ask you about the situation on the ground, because we're hearing, these delays of aid being let in. But what is it really meaning for people who are dealing with millions of tons of rubble that can't be moved? What is the current situation for Palestinians given these delays of aid getting in?
Israel did not stop firing in Gaza before it made sure that Gaza is uninhabitable. It is impossible for any human being to live in Gaza without taking the necessary steps to pave the way for human life there, starting with removing the rubble, reconstructing the buildings, and to feel that it's possible to have a human life there. But as long as the situation continues like this, I think that Gaza will continue to be uninhabitable. And this is what Israel is doing today, not only in Gaza, but also in the West Bank. I'm speaking to you from the Palestinian city of Jenin. Jenin and its refugee camp have been going through a disaster for more than 27 days. Israel removed most of the infrastructure. Israel displaced over 42,000 Palestinians from the refugee camps. So this is the same policy and the same tenets that Netanyahu and his government have. They don't want to see any Palestinian between the river and the sea, and they are doing everything they can to bring that to reality.
Palestinian Affairs analyst Osama Nazzal, thank you so much for your time.